Hi all, it's Emily here from Health Made Natural for another how-to video. Today we're going to be working through a downward facing dog, which is a very common pose in yoga, and it's such a great pose to strengthen the upper body and lengthen the lower body. So find yourself some space and let's get started. We're going to start from our hands and our knees. So find your hands and knees and then take your hands just one hand's distance further forward than your shoulders. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up, and we find our downward facing dog. Now, straight away when we're in this pose, we want to press down through all 10 fingers. Engage those shoulders and press the floor away. Lift the hips up high. Good. And stretch back. Now, the most common thing that I see in downward facing dog is people want to get their heels on the ground, which is great. However, that often compromises the pose just a little bit, because what people try to do is they don't have much length along the backs of their legs just yet. And so what they do to try get their heels down is downward dog ends up looking more like this, which is more of a plank pose. This is not what we want here. This isn't downward dog. So we want to get those hips and lift them up towards the ceiling. Now, you might be saying, well, if I lift my hips up towards the ceiling, my legs can't stretch that way, which is totally normal, especially if you're just starting stretching. So what I'd much rather you do is bend the knees. Yes, come up onto the toes, bend those knees, and then work at pressing the ground away and lifting those hips up towards the ceiling. Now, over time, we can pedal through those feet, find a little bit of extra length there, and then that's where we get our length. But again, if we are compromising the shape of our downward dog to get our heels down and we end up as more of a plank, that's not going to get us the benefits that we want. So bend the knees, draw the hips back, and draw the belly towards those thighs. Very similar to our forward folds. We'd much rather the belly be towards the thighs first, rather than those heels on the ground. Good. Stay here, breathe. Holding is really, really great for strengthening our shoulders, wrists, arms, and then also lengthening that back body. Then to come out, just gently drop those knees down. Walk those hands in. You might feel it in those wrists, especially the first few times that you are doing downward dog. So just be aware of that. It's a whole strength process here. This pose is not just the stretch, it's also the strength aspect, which is what we love to work on here at Health Made Natural. So let us know how you go. If you've got any questions, just reach out and ask us. And we'll see you next time on the mat for another how-to. Thanks for joining. Bye.